UDP's Patrick Farber faces recall convention this weekend. Belize surrounded as COVID cases increases in Guatemala and Mexico. And the agricultural minister crosses the northern border for a bilateral meeting. These stories and more coming up next on News 5 Live.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Introducing Edam A cheese, the A+ Dutch cheese to hit the Belizean market. As the name says, it is of A-class quality, the best Dutch cheese in Belize. Edam A cheese is creamier, less salty, and simply more delicious. Don't be left out. Get your A cheese at a supermarket near you. A cheese, exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited. Call us at 610-3626 or 610-8910. Follow us on Facebook at Unitex Belize.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
If you have a baby on the way, here is what you need to know about maternity benefit. It includes both an allowance for 14 weeks and a grant, which is a lump sum of $300. The basic requirements are: you must be employed, you must have at least 50 paid contributions, and you must have continuous contributions leading up to delivery. To apply, a licensed doctor certifies the expected date of delivery. The employer completes the salaries record. Submit your completed claim form as soon as possible. After giving birth, submit your continuation claim no later than 3 weeks after delivery. If the mother does not qualify, the father of the child may qualify for the maternity grant. Want to know more about maternity benefit or grant? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, July 9th. I am Brighton Codd. It's do or die this weekend for embattled party leader Patrick Farber, whose mettle is being tested by his colleagues in the United Democratic Party. After several weeks of calculated internal maneuvers to have him unseated as leader of the opposition, Sunday's outcome can very well be the death knell in his bid to someday become Prime Minister of Belize. Over 350 delegates are expected to participate in a recall convention this weekend, another carefully orchestrated move to oust Farber as party leader. Undoubtedly, the Collett-era representative has also been on the campaign trail, reaching out to delegates in an attempt to convince them that he is still the right choice at the helm of the floundering party. News 5's Sani Caetano reports.
Patrick Farber's fate as leader of the United Democratic Party will be decided on Sunday when delegates from across the country converge on Bird's Isle to participate in a recall convention. Farber, who succeeded former party leader Dean Barrow in 2020, has come under fire from within, following a leaked video which shows him charging at the mother of his 2-year-old daughter in a fit of rage. It is not the first time that the Collett-era representative has been embroiled in domestic issues. This time, his colleagues in the UDP are taking swift action against him.
I thought the matter should be handled internally, and although we have made appeals after appeals for this matter to be dealt with internally, there is one in particular, but there are others who continue to try to push it in the public domain. And it is why I felt the need to make a statement publicly today.
That was on June 25th, one day after he was officially replaced as leader of the opposition by Shine Barrow. He too stands accused of domestic violence, but is now leading the charge against his political leader.
We have to stop that. That is a sickness that we have in our society, but that starts at the top. We are leaders, so we should not encourage bad behavior to our benefit. We have to hold each other accountable, and again, the onus is on us as the opposition, who is vying for the trust, the restoration of trust and confidence from the public, to demonstrate at every opportunity that we are credible, we are serious, and we are committed. So when this happened, the response was critical. How are we going to respond to this? There was an apology. But the prevalent thought was, you know what? There have been at least 3 previous instances of accusations.
Indeed, Faber publicly apologized for his transgression. It seems that saying sorry, however, just won't cut it this time. In a bid to preserve the party's image, a move is being made to strip Faber of his leadership, beginning with a vote of no confidence at the parliamentary level. The nail in the coffin would be to successfully have him recalled this weekend, but Faber isn't going down without a fight.
My instruction to the rest of the party, all who will be involved in this process, will be for it to be seamless, quiet, and uncontroversial.
Should Faber be recalled as party leader, there is a specific course of action to be taken in choosing a successor. UDP Chairman Mike Perfeet explains.
The Honorable Hugo as the first deputy leader of the party, and the member for Corozal North, he will be the one to take over the interim leadership. And once he takes over that interim leadership, the UDP constitution says that within 3 months, there must be a convention for a new, so to speak, full-time party leader.
It's a critical juncture for the once powerful political organization, which now finds itself in a dizzying tailspin. So what happens should Faber be ousted from his seat as party leader?
Then delegates that have been selected and who elected me to be the leader of this party in July of last year say that Faber, we no want you there, then Faber agrees humbly and bows out at this time. If I come back, maybe you don't know me to be any quitter, but that's who I am. And that is why the people keep on supporting me in Colette and in this party, because they know I got nowhere to go. I am thoroughbred UDP.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
The UDP recall convention is being held on Sunday at Bird's Isle in Belize City. Belize's borders with neighboring Mexico and Guatemala remain closed as both countries are reporting a surge in COVID-19 cases over the past week. In Mexico, Deputy Health Minister Hugo Lopez-Gatell acknowledged that they are facing a third wave. Mexico reportedly saw a skyrocketing of COVID cases with over 9,400 COVID-related deaths in June. This is 42% more deaths when compared to May. Also in June, over 105,000 COVID cases were identified, a 55% increase over May. In Guatemala, the health system is reportedly on the brink of collapse as hospital beds are overflowing. One media outlet reported earlier this week that on Tuesday, the largest hospital in Guatemala City, San Juan de Dios, was at 400% occupancy with COVID-19 patients. Meanwhile, the nearby Melchor de Mencos hospital is also at full capacity. While the Deputy Health Minister of Mexico has acknowledged an increase in hospitalizations, he reportedly said that vaccination is preventing severe COVID-19 disease. Additionally, reports suggest that the highest percentage of cases in Mexico is among the young who have not yet been vaccinated. The World Health Organization's GISAID website reveals that up to 7 COVID-19 variants have been identified in Mexico. In Guatemala, only 1 variant has been identified. Belize is still awaiting variant test results sent abroad. With as many as 10 COVID-19 variants across the world, some Belizeans are questioning the effectiveness of the vaccines against these variants. That is one of the questions we posed to senior medical technician at the Central Medical Lab, Aldo Sosa, earlier this week.
Well, we all know it does not stop you from getting infected, it does generate this high this situation of protection against a severe, the disease being much more severe in the person. And of course also following our other our protocols, simply taking care where we go, taking care of our own health as well. If we have some kind of flu symptom, to seek attention, medical attention, and at the same time safeguard those who are around us, especially the most vulnerable population.
Can you answer maybe whether the vaccine protects against the variants of concern? Is that something you'll be able to answer?
Well, only from what I read. And from what I've read, it does offer protection against these variants.
The Prime Minister has met with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres at UN headquarters in New York. According to a release from the government of Belize press office, among the issues raised by PM Briceño is the need for concessionary financing for small island developing states for post-COVID-19 pandemic recovery and Belize's counter memorial to be filed at the International Court of Justice and bilateral relations with Guatemala. The Secretary General reiterated his commitment to recommending raising financial assistance for climate change adaptation to 50%. On the equitable distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, the Secretary General has called for the production and distribution of 11 billion vaccines to all developing countries. The two men also exchanged views on the delicate situation in Haiti and noted the need for an urgent resolution of the crisis. Coming up, illegal onions causing bitter competition for Belizean farmers. Their plea to buy local when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." A thriving church located close to the town bar met with tragedy and burned to the ground. The congregation searched for a new place to meet. Realizing the local bar was not used on Sunday, they inquired and reached an agreement to conduct their Sunday worship services there. The members arrived early on Sunday morning to clean up the place and to pray out all the evil spirits that were there. Unaware the owner left his talking parrot in the bar, they were surprised Sunday morning when the preacher walked in to hear, "New bartender, new bartender." Then the choir marched in and the parrot said, "New chorus line, new chorus line." Then the congregation came in and said, "Same crowd, no difference." In our world today, it is often hard to distinguish between the people of the world and the people of the church. Someone once said they went to the world and found the church, and they went to the church and found the world. While the church is a called out body and called to separation and holiness, it must be careful in its attempt to portray a Christian lifestyle, not to become so separated that it becomes isolated. However, our identification is to be with him who is not of this world and who hath called us out of darkness into his marvelous light, or we shall be the victim in the parable of the parrot. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people pulled together.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Una Fuels powered with Dynamax. Una, a brand committed with the future.
The contraband produce trade is big business in Belize, but the illicit activity is also taking money out of the pockets of local farmers. Onion farmers, for example, can only cultivate for a certain period of time because that is when climate conditions allow for healthy crops. And so they plant and sell during that productive window. Then the government of Belize resorts to imports to meet demands and supply the local market. Tonight, News 5 returns to some farmers who grow 80% of the onions for the Belize district, but who are now threatened with losses due to contraband.
The Bamba United farmers are hard at work bagging onions. They are a farming family, the largest onion producer in the Belize district. On average, these men plant 18 acres of onions every season because they supply 20% of the onions for the entire country.
Normally, harvest like about, let's call it, about 8,000 sacks of onion, more or less. And we supply from April, May, June, July, until August. That's the season we have onion.
Although Belizeans consume lots of onions every day, being in the onion business is risky because the local market is a hotbed for contraband produce, with onions at the top of the list. All these bags under this shed, for instance, are produce that the farmers are struggling to sell because illegal onions are flooding the market.
The problem is that because in the market there's a lot of contraband. More or less, right now we should be taking like approximately 600 sacks of onion in a week in the market, but mostly we only have about 300 orders because the rest, the contraband is taking the market of the rest. There's a lot of contraband. Mostly, we have receiving information that there's about 300 sacks that's been from
floating the market right now.
Yes, from contraband, yes.
So that essentially means that you as a wholesaler, your customers are not buying because then they can't retail it.
Yes, that's the situation. Yes, there are vehicles coming with 100, 150 sacks. That's certain information that we do have. And like I explained, in a week time, they bring 2 trips. It's about 300 sacks in the market. So that's 300 less that we do sell, and that's a problem for us.
These farmers have 140,000 pounds of onions stored. These are produce that the farmers must sell off in 3 weeks' time. That's because their season should be wrapping up and it's time to import onions to supply the market. But right now, these farmers are worried that they will suffer massive losses this season.
The thing is that we have limited time to sell because we are informed that in a month time, marketing board is bringing from Holanda, and now I think this is, if there was not this situation, this is a legal time, 2 weeks, we can sell everything. But because of this situation, we can't move this onion because of contraband.
But this is not a new problem. The contraband trade is booming in Belize, and those who stand to suffer most are these producers in rural communities who depend on farming to make a living. Reynaldo Oriana is appealing to authorities to tackle this illicit trade.
What we would like to ask is maybe the police can have more checkpoints in certain hours in the night, because mostly this contraband come in the night. And maybe custom officers can work with them. And next thing I would like to ask is maybe BAHA or Custom could visit the market mostly in the days, Mondays, Tuesday, Thursday and Fridays is the days that mostly being affected with contraband. It's a great challenge because there's a great investment that we have to do for the other season, onion season. Yes, and we're talking about a lot of money.
For just about most of us, we don't think about the months of hard work and financial investment that these farmers make to produce locally grown vegetables that are a staple in our diet, like the onions in your ceviche or escabeche. But for these farmers, their produce supports their families. When you buy local, it helps them to keep planting.
After you clean the area, we have to take out every stone that is in the area by hand. After I take out the stone, there's a plower, have to pass a plower, then make the beds. Again, the other stones that come out, we have to take them out back. Then the process goes, the seeds and fertilization, irrigation, and the pesticides. That's another thing that is, well, letting us feel it a bit harder because pesticides and fertilizers and the prices are going up.
A lot of hard work, and it's also expensive to produce these onions.
Yes, hard work and expensive, yes. I could say it's the expensivest production that we could have. Yes, this is everything for us, yes.
And when you see these contraband on the market, I could imagine it hurt.
Yes, because this is what we depend on.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
The Bomba United Group will be at the Michael Finnegan Market selling wholesale on Monday. You can get in touch with them at 637-5526. Today, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority confirmed to News 5 that there has indeed been a flood of contraband produce on the market, and not just onions. Earlier today, a team of BAHA and customs officials seized 2 separate shipments in 2 trucks at illegal border crossing in Orange Walk. The trucks were carrying illegal produce, including more than 800 pounds of onions, almost 300 pounds of carrots, 300 pounds of tomatoes, several sacks of cabbages, and other products including flour, tahin, cheese whiz, and an assortment of other items. Margarita Garcia of BAHA says that the joint unit has been working to intercept illegally imported agricultural products because it poses many risks and is bad for the economy.
Almost every day, especially in the Orange Walk district, we intercept contraband. Onions, it's almost on a daily basis. Today, 2 amounts of onions were confiscated, intercepted by the northern group, right, comprised of customs and BAHA. And they intercepted 2 shipments actually with assorted contraband goods like carrots, onions, tomatoes, potato, onions. And this is happening on a daily basis, and it's continuous that it affects the marketing of our local onions or other produce. And this happens even the buses that travel to Belize, they send it on board these buses, and we try to intercept some of them, but if we maybe intercept 5%, it's a lot of the contraband that is happening, and it is being distributed countrywide. It affects the local producer. The local producer cannot really market his product, and then the other thing that it poses a threat, with any pest or disease that might come in through these products. Sometimes we even intercept animals or animal products. We consider high risk as well. Right. The threat is there for not only for agricultural health, but for human health as well, because some of these might be contaminated due to the movement, the illegal movement at night, and so it's really a risk to buy contraband.
While contraband business is booming, BAHA authorities are working with customs and police. They recognize public education and stiffer penalties may be needed to help tackle this growing issue. And contrabandistas are no longer limiting themselves to overload transport.
So it's an ongoing challenge. It's a daily challenge for us. We try our best, so that to intercept these commodities. We've seen an increase of contraband countrywide, right? I don't know. It's an activity that is on the rise, I feel, because based on the reports I receive on a daily basis, tips that I receive, and we have to try to intercept them. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. They find a different means to do it. We have also information that it comes by sea, and goes to the Keys, for example. So we have information that they come through the south as well.
Right.
So it's countrywide that we have this problem. We have limited resources, but we get a lot of support from other authorities.
Do you believe maybe the penalties or the fines, the charges that these people are slapped with, maybe perhaps should be increased to try to deter them from becoming repeat, offenders in terms of bringing in these contraband products?
Yeah, that is something that we're working on as we speak. Actually, we have revised our laws, and we have noticed that the fees and penalties are they can easily pay, and so we are trying to increase these fines, but it's something that's under revision as we speak, no?
We will have more agricultural developments after the break, including interest from Mexico to buy Belizean produce. But first, here is a look at the latest COVID-19 figures. This COVID update is brought to you by Belize Medical Associates. This COVID update was brought to you by Belize Medical Associates.
You know that the 2021 Belize Telephone Directory is now available? Get your free copy today at any Digistore, Quartz Belize, and A&R location countrywide. It's available in both regular and mini sizes and loaded with coupons to your favorite places. Use these coupons to save every day. Plus, download the Find Yellow mobile app and always have the directory with you. It's available in Google Play and Apple Store. For more info, log on to www.findyellow.com. The 2021 Belize Telephone Directory. Get yours today.
My name is Kenrick, and I live in Belize City, and I am employed as an agent for a company that does reservations for hotels from all over the world. Since amputation, my life has changed minimally. Yes, I don't have my legs to get around, but I have always been an active person, so I do things a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more slower maybe, but I still get it done. Let's say they say we're going to some restaurant, wherever. I need to call and say, do you have access to a wheelchair? And they say, yes, of course. Then I would ask the second question, can I get into your restroom with a wheelchair? And then 99% of the time they'll say no. I would like to encourage everybody who has a disability to not give up. Never, 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 ever give up.
Live and let live. Respect for all Belizeans.
in exercise of the power conferred upon it by Section 7 of the Electricity Act, Chapter 221 of the Laws of Belize, and with the approval of the Minister, the Public Utilities Commission, PUC, the Commission hereby notifies the general public that it intends to enact a bylaw in relation to electricity procurement and power purchase. The bylaw shall govern the procurement processes for wholesale, distributed energy resources, and short-term power purchases by addressing the roles of the Commission and the utilities. The bylaw seeks to secure public welfare, national security, and services at the best value for money. Further clarify the exercise by the Commission of its duties under the Public Utilities Commission Act and Electricity Act. Provide for increased conservation and efficiency of electricity resources by utilities and equitable retail rates for consumers, and detail the RFP and PPA processes. Regulatory tools to achieve the Commission's public interest mandate of setting tariffs for the provision of electricity service to the public. Members of the public are invited to give their comments by email info@puc.bz or post by 17 July 2021. The draft bylaw may be viewed in its entirety at the offices of the Commission at 41 Gabriel Lane, Belize City, or on the PUC website at www.puc.bz.
Although the northern border is still closed to the average Belizean, a special delegation led by the Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May, went across to Mexico on Thursday. Their purpose was to meet with Mexico's Secretary of Agriculture, Victor Manuel Villalobos Arambula, and discuss areas of partnership and cooperation. Those talks focus on agriculture, livestock, and aquaculture. The government of Belize's press office spoke with Villalobos Arambula and Minister May.
First, let me just mention that it is a great pleasure and a great opportunity to exchange ideas, views, and I would like to refer that we had instructions of the President López Obrador to strengthening the relationship with the Central American countries as well as the Caribbean countries. So I think it is a great opportunity, not just only to meet with the minister, with his staff, but also what we expect is that in this dialogue we can be able to exchange some ideas and look together for opportunities. We share a border, we share possibilities and potential, but at the same time I think there is a need for us to have a more direct contact and collaboration in between the two countries.
And what are some of those areas that you see possible collaboration with Belize?
Well, I think it is in the three major sectors or subsectors of the agriculture. It's agriculture, cattle, and fisheries, particularly aquaculture. So I think, and this is something that we will present here, is the possibility and the strong potential for development of these areas in Belize. Always taking in consideration issues related with inequity, with traceability, because eventually we will be able to have an economical change, particularly with cattle or agriculture. So I think in this dialogue, which again we come with the idea to strengthen these relations, we will be able to put on the table areas of potential projects that eventually can beneficiate the economy of Belize.
I hope that we can establish a great working relationship. I think that we have been doing trade in Mexico for so many years. More so Mexico exporting goods to Belize. Belize has dropped their exportation tremendously, shrimp being one of the main ones in 2015. But there are other areas that we're exploring to export to Mexico. So I wish that at the end of today, we would have set practices of what we need to do, set processes what we can do to access market Mexico. Mexico is Belize's big brother. That's the way I see it. It's a powerful country. It's a huge population, huge demand for goods and services. Belize is a small country. We're self-sufficient, but we can also export some of our commodities to them. Cattle being one of the ones recently. We're working very hard on that. We are looking at strengthening collaboration in research, germplasm, technical training for our people. I share the same view of one of my past ministers of agriculture saying, why are we going all the way across the world to seek technology when Mexico has it right next door to us? So we have to be practical. And I have great trust and confidence that Minister Bilateral and his ministry.
Also present for the meeting was Mexican ambassador to Belize, Marta Zamarripa Rivas. Ambassador Rivas told the press office that this is the first time Belize's Minister of Agriculture is leading a delegation in Mexico, and that it speaks to a greater interest by the Mexican government to increase its investments in Belizean goods and services. Mexico is also interested in accessing Caribbean markets.
The issue with cattle is basically the fact that it's a process that's really taking long. We know there's a demand from Mexico for the product, and no more than ever Mexico has demands for many other commodities, for example the soybean, the soursop, the non-traditional commodities, and they have in the past been helping us in the non-traditional areas, honey, we're talking about coconuts. So in this discussion that we had today, we have more to benefit from the discussion than Mexico from us. The co-investments and the tapping into CARICOM is an area that they have an advantage in. No? They're interested in coming into Belize, investing, and being able to leapfrog into CARICOM. So I think this time it's a little bit different in the sense that they have put these things on the table as their priority, and that is the reason we are here today. I think this is one of the first few times that we have the Ministry of Agriculture, apart from the Ministry of Trade leading or another ministry. Ministry of Agriculture is meeting with the Agriculture Minister, and his technical delegation, his leads in Senasica, in the sanitary component, in the Amexid, the leads of these initiatives are here to really drive this home. So we can see that in both ends there is a lot of interest, more so than before.
On Monday morning, the partially nude body of a man was discovered on the bank of the McCall River in San Ignacio. There were injuries to the head and body. Even though foul play was suspected, the identity of the individual could not be determined at that time. Police are now reporting that the body has been identified as that of Felix Ack, a 44-year-old resident of Blue Creek Village in the Toledo district. Ack's father, Erasmo, identified the deceased as police investigation continues into his death. Police were able to intercept 107 pounds of compressed cannabis during a late-night operation in Corozal on Thursday. A team of officers were on special operation in an area known as Smuggler's Den in Consejo Village when just before midnight, they spotted two Hispanic men on bicycles coming from the direction of the lagoon. They were each carrying a large black bundle. Upon seeing the police, both individuals ran into nearby bushes and escaped, leaving their bicycles and the bundles behind. Inside, police discovered 60 parcels each of suspected cannabis. The suspected drugs were transported to the police station where it was processed, weighed, and amounted to 107 pounds. The drugs were labeled, sealed, and deposited as found property. Just ahead, the latest efforts to make doing business and electronic transactions in Belize a little easier. Don't go away.
I need to try it first.
It's a fact that you can access unlimited services with Smart. Tired of being measured or cut off when you need to be connected? It's a fact that when you sign up for Smart's Plus plan, you get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data. And it's a fact that you can sign up with your group of up to 5 members for Smart's Share plans and up to 40 members for Smart's Enterprise plans for unlimited talk, text, and data. Smart has the true unlimited plans. That's a fact. Be smart and live smart.
"2020 taught us the importance of being connected to the virtual world, and NextGen is here to keep its commitment to you. Even if you're physically apart, NextGen keeps you digitally connected."
Okay, everyone, thank you for following me today.
NextGen provides more than just an internet plan. They provide service plans that support all your online needs. Sign up today and get your NextGen's ultra-high-speed internet service. NextGen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
Why, Tony?
Boy, Keith, what you going on, man?
We actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because they run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just routed the last batch, must be about like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have that thing? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
At last week's meeting at the House of Representatives, there were several bills introduced which may not have gotten a lot of public attention, but could help to make doing business in Belize a little easier. Among these was the bill for an act to provide regulations on transfer of money electronically. According to Prime Minister John Briceño, it is a piece of legislation that the banking sector has been clamoring for.
The electronic transaction bill goes in line with Plan Belize, and it seeks to facilitate transactions electronically by recognizing and validating the legality of electronic documents in an effort to promote electronic commerce and lessen the administrative burdens associated with doing business without compromising the legal integrity of the process. In many instances, as it is right now, some of these transactions are still not legally recognized because it is done electronically. The aim here is to address the legal aspects of electronic contracts, the use of electronic signatures, and issues relating to authentication and non-repudiation of these contracts. In effect, we're saying that with the click of a button, you are signing a legal document or a legal contract between companies or between persons. We're hoping that by doing this, we can speed up the process to improve, to remove these exceptions where they exist for the transactions, such as deeds. For instance, a deed you have to do it in person, we'll be able to do it electronically. The negotiable instruments, trust, and statutory declarations. All of them had to be done in person, and now with the electronic transactions bill, all of this now can be done electronically.
The bill was referred to the Finance Economic Development Committee. The bill is also designed to clamp down on electronic transfer and credit card fraud that creates a series of offenses.
This bill provides for the regulation of the transfer of money through electronic means by use of bank cards, credit cards, smart cards, online banking transfers, and mobile commerce, which is important, the use of your phone to make these transactions. For the purpose of instructing or authorizing a financial institution to debit or credit a cardholder's account when anything of value is purchased. The bill creates a number of offenses related to theft, forgery, and other dishonest use of a credit card, debit card, bank card, smart card, or the number and data associated with such card or a bank account. It is intended to build user confidence in electronic commerce and electronic transfers. The bill was drafted to be technologically neutral so that the same offenses, whether committed at a shop in Belize, at an electronic terminal, or used to purchase goods or services online, apply in a similar manner.
This bill has been forwarded to the Public Service, Labor, Industry and Trade Committee. Another bill introduced seeks to encourage investment by exempting certain documents from stamp duty. Prime Minister Briceño explains.
We want to make it easier and cheaper to start a business in Belize by eliminating the stamp duty on documents necessary to form a company. Even the documents that you have to take, you have to pay stamp duties, and it's something that's, for the past, it's archaic and cumbersome. So, again, this bill continues the part of this government to stimulate investment, especially for the MSMEs, by streamlining the process and making it easier, simpler, and cheaper to do business in Belize.
Just ahead, bringing back a much-loved Belizean celebration in LA, the latest on this September's Belize Fest when we come back. But first, here is the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Que puedes obtener servicios ilimitados con Smart. ¿Cansado de que se corte la línea cuando más necesitas estar conectado? Es un hecho que cuando te suscribes al plan de Smart Plus, obtienes llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Y también es un hecho que te puedes suscribir con un grupo de 5 miembros al plan Smart Share y hasta 40 miembros al plan Smart Enterprise para llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Smart tiene los verdaderos planes ilimitados. Es un hecho. Sé Smart y vive de forma Smart.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Why should you wear your mask? To protect myself. My friends. My family and others. I wear my mask because I love my grandparents. With so many reasons to wear a mask, we continue to advise persons to wear a face mask properly, covering both nose and mouth. Together, we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800 A Way Out or our cell phone number 672-9628. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission in collaboration with Miss Universe Belize with funding from the Engender and Spotlight projects.
A father is appealing to the public to help save his daughter's life. About 5 weeks ago, 24-year-old Yesenia Anaya fell ill and was diagnosed with a rare condition called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It has paralyzed Anaya, who is now hospitalized with mounting medical bills that the family cannot afford.
La situación en esta ocasión es la gravedad.
The situation here is that my daughter is seriously ill in the hospital. She has a syndrome that is called Guillain-Barré. It is a very expensive sickness to treat and very dangerous. So, on this occasion, I want to appeal to the public to please help us to save my daughter's life. The sickness is one that attacks the nerves and kills the nerves. It is like her immune system works in reverse and kills the nerve and leaves the body dead. So, it is a very serious illness and the cost of her treatment is very expensive.
To help Anaya's daughter with her medical costs, you can contact the family at 621-4432 or 600-2677. In news from the diaspora, Belizean Americans in Los Angeles, California, and a non-profit organization led by Farron Smith Jr. are trying to revive Belize Fest. Due to the pandemic, the Belize Fest could not be held in 2020, but Smith Jr. wants to get the ball rolling for its comeback this September. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
A non-profit organization out of Los Angeles, California is seeking to revive the Belize Fest, 2 weeks of festivities that celebrate everything Belizean, from culture, food, and entertainment.
Belize Fest is basically 2 weeks. It's 2 events, 2 weeks apart, and it's held on a Sunday, right? It's a family event, so children get to come in for free. What we do is we block off the street in Inglewood, and basically we turn it into like we turn it into like a mini version of celebration for Belize, right? We put different things, like we even have like a herb lady that comes all the way from Belize, and she brings herbs to sell to people out here in the diaspora that we wouldn't be able to find here without her being in that celebration. You know, we have arts and craft. We have all the Belizean food you could think about. So you know, we have participation from many Belizean artists in Los Angeles and around different parts of the diaspora. We have basically the whole day is a time where you could visit all the booths and go learn something about Belize and about Belizean culture, every single part of Belizean culture. And then towards the evening, we have a concert and throw down and march and turn up.
The goal is to once again provide a platform for Belizean artists to showcase their talent in the U.S., performing for Belizeans abroad as well as foreign nationals who attend.
The pandemic has caused for artists to you know, not be able to work that much. And well, any at all. Most artists haven't been working any at all when it comes to performing and, you know, traveling and just doing what artists do. My platform is an opportunity for artists to be able to work back again. You know, since, you know, Los Angeles is fully open and we are able to do like in-person concerts. So this is a way for Belizean artists who, you know, just have been dealing with the pandemic and everything to be able to come out here and perform and, you know, show Belizean culture with mostly of the diaspora and friends that we have, you know, out here.
But for this to happen, True Belizean is seeking partnership with the Ministry of Culture.
I'm hoping that this is something that, you know, that would interest the Belizean people, and I'm hoping that we could make it happen, because I know for a fact that, you know, Belizeans, that having a relationship like this would benefit the artists and it would benefit the people here in the diaspora, because we don't get to see these artists like that.
The goal is for the Belize Fest to take place in September of this year. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I am Brighton Cott. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.